In 1873, a tailor in Nevada faced a problem that seemed impossible to solve. Miners kept ripping their pants apart. Pockets tore at the seams under the weight of tools, nuggets, and rock samples. A Russian immigrant named Jacob Davis had an idea that would change clothing forever. Metal rivets hammered into the stress points of denim trousers. He needed money to patent it, so he wrote to a dry goods merchant in San Francisco named Levi Strauss. Strauss said yes. On May 20th, 1873, the patent was granted, and the modern blue jean was born. But inside that patent was a detail almost nobody remembers today. A tiny pocket, tucked inside the right front pocket, barely large enough for 2 fingers. It was not for coins. It was not decoration. It was built for something every serious worker of that era carried and could not afford to lose: a pocket watch. Picture a miner in the 1870s, deep in a California ravine, timing his shift by the sun, and a watch chained carefully to his vest. Watches were expensive, they were fragile, and they were essential because time meant wages, and wages meant survival. Loose in a regular pocket, a watch could slip out, crack against stone, or vanish into dust. So Strauss and Davis engineered a solution: a snug, shallow pocket sewn just for it, positioned high enough to reach quickly and small enough to hold the watch firmly in place. For decades, this little pocket did exactly one job. Cowboys used it, railroad workers used it, farmers used it. It became so associated with function that early Levi's advertisements specifically called it out as a feature, not an afterthought. Then something happened that should have made the pocket obsolete. Wristwatches began appearing in the early 1900s, first as a novelty, then as a necessity during World War I, when soldiers found pocket watches impractical in the trenches. By the 1920s, wristwatches had taken over. The pocket watch, and the reason for that tiny 5th pocket, was fading into history. But the pocket did not disappear. It survived. Why? Because by then, it was not just functional, it was identity. It was the signature of a brand that had already become iconic. Levi's kept the pocket in its 501 line, and customers who saw those jeans recognized it instantly, whether or not they understood what it was originally for. Other denim makers copied it, not because their customers needed a place for a watch, but because it now signaled authenticity, heritage, and toughness. Over the following decades, the little pocket quietly picked up new jobs. Some people used it for coins, which is why many still call it a coin pocket. Others slid in a folded bill, a spare key, a guitar pick, a lighter, or nothing at all. Fashion historians began studying it. Vintage collectors began hunting for jeans with the oldest, most historically accurate versions of it. A detail meant to protect a fragile 19th century instrument had become a small monument to industrial history stitched into nearly every pair of jeans on the planet. There is something quietly remarkable in that. Most functional design fades away the moment its function disappears. This one did not. It became a fossil hiding in plain sight, worn by billions of people who have never once thought about where it came from. So the next time you notice that strange little pocket above your right hip, you are not looking at a mistake or a leftover accident. You are looking at a 150-year-old answer to a problem that no longer exists, kept alive not by necessity, but by memory, tradition, and the strange staying power of good design.